Welcome to the Lockheed Martin stand. We're here at IAV. This is, I think, the third year we've been here now, and we're here really to showcase the capabilities that Lockheed Martin has in the UK and the areas that we wish to expand upon. For example, we have an interest in the MIV program, and we also have an interest in exporting some of the good work that we're doing here in the country. As you know, we sit on two very large opportunities in the UK. First, to provide the lethality system for the Ajax vehicle, and then secondly for the Warrior sustainability program. And here, our turret demonstrator is really designed to show customers, users, the interfaces and the operating environment that is inside our turret. It's not an exact replication of the turret clearly, but it's there as an emulation, as a simulation vehicle, so that we can potentially start training on people, get a better understanding of how the interfaces work. And it also demonstrates our ability to integrate something like a Javelin anti-tank missile into the electronic architecture of the vehicle and show a lethality improvement over time. The most significant trends is this reach for greater lethality within the single package. So, for example, in the UK, it's all around about the 40mm cannon capability. Export customers potentially want to have anti-tank guided weapons on the side of their turrets, and we're trying to bridge that gap by being able to offer both. And so we're seeing that. Protection is also clearly an issue. So, for example, absolutely embedded within the design of the turret are protection features for the crews, which are second to none and are demanded by the customers now in the new operating environment. On the Scout program, for example, we work with General Dynamics in South Wales. That program is now developing very nicely. We've started production of the turrets and shipping the turrets for integration, and we will go into an extensive period of testing this year. On the Warrior program, that's slightly different in that we are the prime of the Warrior program, but clearly there's an extensive supply chain back behind that, which we've been working in order to drive out value for money and clearly get the capability enhancements that people want. And then on the MIV program, we are in discussions, and it's fairly obvious we're in discussions with Patria. We believe that they have a very compelling case on their AMV vehicle, so with those discussions continue, and we look forward to seeing whether or not the MIV program develops into a full program of record. I think the secret of success, you've got to listen to the customer, and so when it's come, for example, on the Warrior program, when it's come to designing the interfaces and the operating space for the soldier that's going to be fighting these things, they're embedded at Amped Hill with us, and they work very closely with our crews to actually ensure that the engineers are delivering exactly what they want. And it may be down to the finest detail in terms of what's on the screens, but that might be equally important as to where they put their rifle. So we try and get that judgment absolutely right, and we then take that attitude in terms of listening to the customer out when we go and talk at events like today. It's very important to hear feedback, be that from 4-star generals or potentially more important from the lower ranks. I think this event has a sort of two-tier value. First one is listening to the generals and going into the conference and hearing where they think the direction of travel is in terms of future conflict. That's obviously critically important. The other huge value has been amongst one's peers in the industry, and just bouncing ideas, seeing what trends they're seeing if we're heading in the right direction as well as meeting people who pop up on the stand and say, we want to have a conversation with you, and they may be from a foreign national country, and that may be the start of more engagement downstream. So conferences like this are critical, meeting places for people to engage.